Otakuology Podcast with Otaku Mike and Jin Graves.
Start us off, or you want to start?
Hey guys, what's up? Jin here with another episode of one of the best podcasts in the world,
Some might say it's the best podcast of all time.
Otakuology. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of people's guilty pleasure. That's why people have to kind of like work around listening to us, because if they listen to us too much, then, I mean, you're a sexy guy. They're going to get the hots for you. Come on.
I mean, is that why nobody shouts us out? Because we're a guilty pleasure?
Yes. Yes. We are definitely like...
We're like that manga. We're like that manga.
I was gonna say we're top shelf at like Cupid's, but then I'm like, what about like what's the like top like novelty store of that stuff, you know?
We're like that manga or anime you don't show your friends.
No, we're that one. We're that one you don't want to show to your friends, because
you don't want to show to your friends,
because if you show it to them, you already know that their day is going to end too. It's just that. It's like eating chocolate. One piece of chocolate, and you're like, oh shit, I had two.
That's what Otakuology is.
Then before you know, you had the whole box.
We're everybody's guilty pleasure.
Exactly. So today we are covering Isekai's, mine and Mike's top 5. We did it a little differently for y'all. Mike is going to cover his top 5 anime, and I'm going to cover the top 5 manga.
That's true, because it turns out Otaku Mike, the king of Isekais, has not read a lot of Isekai manga. Go figure.
Right.
But Otaku Mike has seen Isekai anime.
Hey, but you know, the funny thing is, you know, on a recent website that we looked at, I think your list is a lot bigger than what you think on what you know about having an isekai, at least as far as IMDb is concerned.
Oh, yes, we will get back to that for a few episodes. I want to talk about that. That list was making me fucking mad. I only looked at it for a second.
Right? Yeah. So, I feel like about 50% of that list got it. Probably could have just gotten X. Maybe they should have just done the top 50. It would have worked out a lot better.
Yeah, who knows? We'll talk about that later.
But starting this out, let's tell you what an isekai is, because I'll probably have to reiterate that when we cover this other topic later on. But an isekai is basically when another character goes or comes into another separate world.
Well, let's just say, like, yeah, that's basically what an isekai is. Then you have your, like, what they like to call, well, or I think what the fandom likes to call a reverse isekai, where a magical creature comes to our world.
Yeah.
A reverse isekai.
We have that, and then I feel like there's another subsect, which is the video game type isekai, because when you go into a video game world, you're like, oh. Now, me and Mike have talked about this too. My interpretation of it is it's a game where you're locked into it, you can't leave. So, like, maybe .hack,
Sword Art Online.
Well, did they get locked in there? I thought they were able to.
Yeah, they got locked in there, and if they got taken out of it, their like brains exploded or something.
Okay. So Sword Art, Log Horizon, things like that. Yeah. Like Infinite Dendrogram, things like that, where you can leave. I don't exactly see that. That's not a thing, I believe.
Well, I would say .hack was they only got locked in that one. I think only like one character technically only got locked in.
Okay.
From what I remember in the anime. In the video games, I think you could leave and go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah. From what I remember. It's been a long time since I've .hacked.
It's been a while since I Fate Knighted too.
Opening up that dot hack can of worms can be a little. You need like a fucking master's degree in dot hack to learn about dot hack.
I agree. I mean, the other one though, like I said, like that is the Fate series. I feel like that's a whole nother can of
Oh
worms
yeah,
too.
no, most definitely. But yeah,
Like,
this list, this is one that we wanted to do for quite some time. I would say it was one of the first ones that I think we brainstormed about doing,
yeah,
if I remember correctly. But we kind of put it on the back burner, and I was like, hey, this is an easy episode to kind of talk about. We don't have to watch anything. We don't have to read anything. We can just sit and talk and bust each other's balls on our favorite isekai manga/anime. You know, and see how each other's tastes are in isekai. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right. Which I feel like we will know a little bit of each other's, but everybody else out there do not.
I don't know. I feel like I personally pulled some like out of the corners of my fucking mind, and I don't know if you'll know about them. Maybe one or two you'll know
Okay.
about, but I don't know if you'll ever actually guess my number one.
Jesus Christ.
Just saying, because a lot of people.
I feel like I'm on the other side of that. You're gonna be like, I could almost regurgitate Jin's list
A,
to you.
a lot of people don't know about this. Number one, I would say. Well, you'd have to be like an old school anime fan to know about it. Because I think, like, my entire list is 80s and 90s. when it comes to anime. Maybe there's one from the 2000s. I'm not for sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So getting into this, what's your fifth one?
So hold on, my dogs are barking. So
Okay.
oh man, I got me mid cough,
oh
motherfucker.
wow.
I'm fighting a cold. So my number one, and this one,
Hey everybody out there, send Mike some love. He has a cold, okay?
I have a cold that I've been trying to get rid of for like the past
You sure it's cold?
week. Yeah, I would say it's cold.
So you're number 5.
So yeah, my number 5 came out in 1996 and 1997. It got 2 seasons. And my number 5 is Those Who Hunt Elves. That's my number 5.
That's so funny. Because I just asked you a question about that one.
You did. So if anybody doesn't know what Those Who Hunt Elves is about, it's about these 3 characters who go to another world, who get summoned to another world, and they have to, to get them home, they have to find tattoos that are on elves, and they have to strip the elves naked in order to find these magical seals that are on their bodies. It's very much like a episodic almost. The characters are really interesting. You have like your karate master guy. I don't remember what their names are. An actress, karate master guy, actress. There's an actress who's there, and I think she's more like a theatrical actress actually. Then you have like this high school girl who is like a fucking gun nut, and they have a tank, and their tank is possessed by the soul of a dead cat, and they ride around on this tank that acts like a cat. And then they find, like, later on, there's a whole episode about, hey, what do we do if we need to take a shit?
This kind of sounds like Tenchi Muyo in a way.
If we need to take a shit and they happen to find a little white bear and the bear happens to poop toilet papers, this anime is fucking insane. And I love it. For an isekai, it is so out there and ridiculous. The fan service isn't, like, very, like, vulgar. It's very much like fan service of the 90s. You don't really see anything. It's just like, oh, they're naked. Who knows?
Dark Schneider.
No, not like Dark Schneider. Not like Dark Schneider.
Not anywhere near close to that one.
But it's stupid. It's fun. It got 2 seasons. If you watch anime in the 90s, you actually probably know about Those Who Hunt Elves. It was a pretty popular show. Did you watch it back in the day?
No, I actually bought it on discount from Right Stuff,
Do you
and
so
so
you do you own it still?
yeah,
Okay, so then we'll have to cover seasons 1 and 2 then, because I own it.
I'll have to find it. I don't know
Okay.
if I have both or just the first one.
You probably have both of them. Probably. I mean, you can
Yeah.
watch it probably on Verve or something. But yeah, that's my number 5. Like, do you have any like reservations on my number 5 or anything like that? Do you?
No, I actually feel like that's a pretty good one. Because while I haven't really seen
Uh-huh.
it, I have
Yeah.
seen it.
You've like
Um,
seen it like on the shelf and stuff.
no, like I've seen bits and pieces like
Okay.
out of episodes.
It's stupid. It's an isekai that doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah, very much so. And I mean, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Just like one of my favorite ones. I mean, it has the Suikoden one. It has dragons, everything else, and that was always my comparison to it. Is man, I wish it was a little more like Those Who Hunt Elves. And people are like, well, what do you want in it? And I was like, I want a tank.
A
That's it.
tank,
That's all I want. I want
tank
a tank.
possessed by a cat.
Exactly. Meow.
Meow. Yeah.
So,
But yeah, that's my number 5 we got going on there.
so my number 5 is one that like a lot of people know of now. I mean, it's
Uh,
big. Um, sad to say, I mean, a lot of people know.
wait, how big are we talking here?
It's fairly big. I would say in most people, if you would bring it up, it would probably be like in their top 3.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's one that's gotten around more and it's more well known.
Is it in my
Um,
top 3?
is it in your top 3 of stuff?
Yeah.
I don't really think that you like this one too much. I think you and I were reading it at the same time for a little while, and then
Yeah.
you're like, this is all right, but it's not like the best.
Oh, what is it?
So this one, hold on, I'm trying to scroll down on my list. Uh, came out March 26, 2015.
Oh, so it's a newer one, kind
Yeah.
of.
Currently, it has 21 volumes of
Oh, so
manga.
it's a long one.
It's written by Fuse.
Fuse.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It has 1, 2, 3 spin-offs for it.
Oh god. Is this
Oh, I lied. It has 5 spin-offs for it.
oh fuck no.
Yeah.
No. Is this the fuck, what is it called? God damn it. It has a name and it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead.
And this is one where the main character is a little blue kind of gooey creature.
Is it reincarnated as a slime?
Yes, it is.
I think I made it through the first volume and I was like, nope.
See, I really enjoy this series, which is funny.
I think I bought the first 3 volumes.
Yeah, but the problem with it for me is because of the anime, it got so much like turnover.
Yeah.
That everybody's like, oh, I just love this or whatever. Which I found out talking to my coworker.
Uh-huh.
The anime and the manga actually don't go together.
Wait, is this the coworker who like loves Overlord?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't trust him. He loves Overlord.
Well, we were talking about stuff that actually happened in the book compared to the anime, and I would bring something up. He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about," and then he would bring stuff up, and I'm like, "Wait, I'm confused. What? Where is that at in this timeline or whatever?" Yeah.
So wait, how does this get 5 spin-offs?
Don't ask me that one.
That's fucking ridiculous right there.
Because we have the manga, we have the spin-off, The Ways of the Monster Nation, the Slime Diaries,
Oh, does the slime keep his own diary?
reincarnated again as a workaholic slime, Trinity and Tempest, the Slime Diaries, another one. Oh no, that's an anime. Never mind. That's the anime off
I
of
wonder
that
if
one.
these are like spoof mangas.
Clayman's Revenge is the last one.
That sounds dirty. It kind of sounds like Hyman's Revenge.
Well, Clayman is one of the big like demon lord guys in it. So.
Oh, okay.
But
I know nothing about that. Yeah, that one just lost me completely. I think that might have been on my Isekai burnout at that time.
Yeah,
I'm not
probably.
100% sure.
I mean, I've really enjoyed the series and staying with it and everything, but it's one of those like when people start trying to bring it up, I'm like, nope, we're not having this discussion about this.
Yeah,
because I like it for what it is, and when everybody's like, oh, this character is so cute and da da, I'm like, we're gonna have to back off of this conversation because it's not working for me. Because there are so many people that want to turn it into something else other than an isekai, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it makes it really weird.
I
think I really enjoyed it though because of it had an aspect that I think would be really fun in a game, which is when you name a character or whatever, it gives them a power boost.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes from there. So I mean, it did stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool, especially them making this monster nation kind of thing.
Do you think because it falls into like a bunch of those isekai traps?
Ooh.
Like, oh, there's cute girls, overpowered main character type of thing.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
That I like it or
either or why it became popular.
No, because the thing is, we're talking about isekai, so you have to find something that's in there to make it different. So the demon lord stuff, the girls, different things like that, aren't really that cool to me. In that because what's going to stop me from picking up a different one and reading it and being like, oh yeah, this is basically the same freaking thing,
Oh, that's we could have a whole discussion about that,
right? So the thing that I really enjoy in this one though is the main character is making a monster nation, and you get to see his diplomacy and other things like that. Even though he is defeating like the big boss guys and things like that, that's not the most of it. At one point he becomes a teacher to these other kids with special powers and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's the outside aspects of it that I really enjoy, not the hey, this is like every other fucking isekai you're going to watch. Hey.
That's funny.
Which is what I think a lot of people fall into, like you said, that trap. And they're like, oh yeah, I love this isekai. But can you tell me what makes it different?
Honestly, I feel like most isekais, you get pulled in by the cute anime girl, and then it traps you eventually.
I have no idea. I mean, Rinmaru is a really funny character just in general. Mm-hmm. So it could definitely be a little more dirty, but it doesn't take that step,
Like Monster Girl Encyclopedia Slime Dirty?
Sure. Maybe.
Okay, we'll go.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Anyways. So my number four is came out in 1983. So this was before I was even born.
Oh my god.
Ran from 1983 to 1984. Ran for 49 episodes. And this is one that is an isekai, and it is made by the creator of Gundam. This one is Or Battler Dunbine. This one's about a young male who gets transported into another world on his motorcycle, and he has to basically help the bad guy
Oh my god.
fight a war in giant robot mechs that look like bugs. This
I
one
love it.
is
I love
it's
it. I mean, you sold me on that.
uh,
He went to another world on his motorcycle.
literally Truck Coon, the Isekai truck, tries to hit him, but he goes and veers off. He ramps up onto a convertible and like he gets transported into another world. That's how it happens.
That's funny. That's a lot better than some of the other ones where
Like he
the
doesn't even
character
get
has to
hit by a
die.
truck. He just gets magically transported by this mysterious girl with these other people, and they have this
You
war.
know, you saying this made me think of something real quick.
What?
Off of that list that we were looking at, technically Yu Yu Hakusho is an isekai.
Oh yeah, technically,
I didn't even think about that, but
yeah.
it's just all full of
But
bullshit.
it's a crazy cool show. The animation can be hit or miss sometimes, but it definitely has that political intrigue, of these people who get sent to this other world. They have the power of aura, and they are able to pilot these crazy looking like mechs, and it's pretty cool and violent. It definitely is one of those. It's definitely a mecha series hidden behind the shroud of an isekai.
So, does this have one of your favorite aspects of an old school manga where there's no CGI or anything else like
No
that?
CGI whatsoever.
All the background is
All the
hand
backgrounds
drawn.
hand drawn. Yeah,
See, look, knew
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah,
Anybody?
it's pretty cool, and there's like this whole tonal flip in the middle where he's like, "Oh man, I'm working for the bad guys. I got to go help these people out over here," and
That's funny.
it's good. It definitely has a lot of isekai tropes in it that you could say things pulled from it, or it pulled from the isekai genre itself. Because I
Yeah.
definitely feel that Tomino, the creator of Gundam, he was like, "Hey, look now, I'm gonna go into the isekai world and make it better." You know, but, that's yeah, yeah. It's definitely an anime I think everybody should check out, especially if they like fantasy and they sprinkle a little bit of robots in there. The robots are cool. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's how I would pick my. Um, yeah, that's what I'd go with.
All right. So my number 4 is another one that I highly enjoy. Um,
How much do you enjoy?
well, I enjoy it more than slime.
Oh, okay.
So, this one. Well, actually, you know what? I feel like this spot probably has 2 in it.
Uh-huh.
Um, so for number 4, I have 2, and it's because they're pretty close. I feel like in different things of why I like them.
Why do
So
they both take number 4 spot?
because you're gonna have to. I already have my other ones
Are
filled out.
you are you cheating?
Yeah, totally. This is
Okay.
Otakuology. I'll do what
Okay.
I want.
Okay. Fine.
So Rising of the Shield Hero.
Oh, yeah.
Rising of the Shield Hero is fantastic. I love it. I love it a lot. And my other one for this area is Death March into Parallel Rhapsody.
Yeah. Why is it your favorite?
So these two, the reason why is because of the companion aspect of it. I highly enjoy how the people end up making their own parties and how they have the leveling system for those individual side characters that actually grow out of it.
Which one?
Both of them.
Oh, both of them. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I haven't read Death March into the World, but I have read Shield Hero, and with that one, the side characters are a big deal in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I mean the other good thing about that is like, I mean you and I both know like we just 100% love that one.
I still don't even know if that one's a video game one or another world one.
It's got to be just another world because you know he went through a book.
Yes, but they have that video game aspect where they level up, or they have like the screens that pop up to show the info and all that stuff. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and this other one does that too. Um, so I wonder how part of it is a thing because Death March into Parallel Rhapsody is kind of set up like the main character would be like an admin type of character. Like
Mhm.
he could do whatever he wanted in the world, make himself overpowered, whatever. And as he's going through, like he knows all this stuff, but he's trying to put himself off as not doing that. And just like the other that one that we talked about, if it's for my daughter,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
you know, he has different characters in this that he's trying to basically like raise um, to do better.
That's the one
So,
with the Death March is the one with like all the lollies, right?
um,
They look like
well,
really young.
well, there's one lolly in it, but
Okay.
it's I feel like it would fit more into the petite category though, because the girl is supposed to be older than what she is, but she was reincarnated in a girl's body,
Typical lolly.
right? But I mean, he's got a great party. I mean, he's got three people that are like half beast people. So
Uh-huh.
you have like a dog, a cat, a lizard. They still look like human beings or whatever. Two of them are kids. You know, the other one was like basically raised on a farm, and he's trying to teach them how to do all this stuff, how to cook and fight and all that other
Yeah.
jazz. So, you know, it's kind of like being an admin, but trying to like help a PC or an NPC kind of level up, I guess.
Gotcha.
Um, he's got the lolly girl. He's got the her sister, supposedly, even though they look nothing alike. He's got a kind of like golem type character that is a side one. Um,
Hmm.
and then he technically has her 8 sisters that look exactly like her, but they went on another mission somewhere, you know, so they're not technically in the book yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he picks up all these different people, so
So
it's pretty cool aspect.
why would this be better than Shield Hero?
You mean why is this equivalent to
Oh,
Shield Hero?
equivalent to Shield Hero, I guess.
Um, I think it probably has the equivalency of it because of just the storyline, how happy-go-lucky it is.
Oh yeah.
Um, you know, as the guy goes, he wants to be a traveling merchant as well,
Oh god.
and
So this is Shield Hero.
for the most part,
Does
yeah,
he have a shield too?
no,
Okay.
no,
Does he have a Tanuki girl?
no. So the other funny thing is, and this is a disclaimer I got to put on this one,
Okay.
is with Parallel March to Parallel Rhapsody. Um, basically, it is like the Gintama of Isekai
Oh.
because you have the shop part that would be like Shield Hero, where you know he's a traveling merchant, kind of steals the story from it.
I mean, he hasn't done the traveling merchant thing in some time in Shield
Um,
Hero.
Arifureta,
I hate that one.
from Commonplace to World's Strongest, where the guy actually can create like handguns and stuff. This guy had a special item that he got that was this handgun.
Oh.
I mean, so you do have a lot of the tinkering part of it as well, where he's like, "Oh, hey, you know, I'm doing this." He made a sword that, like, um, you know, can cut through magic basically and hit the other person. Like, just all this different, like, little crazy stuff. And when you compile it all into one, that's kind of what this is, you know. But it would be like taking those ideas as somebody creating the game, you know.
Yeah.
So it pops up and he gets special abilities, and that's kind of the other thing is it makes me think of when you and I played Borderlands, and then we were like, I don't like the build of my character, so we like knocked him back down to level 1. And it's like, you have 95 different things to level your character up. How would you like
you
to do
basically
it?
rebuild the different characters or something.
Yeah, so he can sit there and like he's got like all these points that he can put into stuff, and he'll sit there and he's like, huh, you know, I feel like I really need this. So then he'll max it out and he'll tell you this is what he did, you know. So you get the different aspects. But you know, with like other ones, obviously he's like a god tier character that chooses not to act that way. So the underlying story, I feel like, is more of his relationship with these side characters.
Yeah.
Which that's one of the things I'm still questioning about the series is, does he think that it's still a video game and he's trying to get out of it? Or is he actually enjoying being in this world?
That was one that I actually thought about picking up at one point.
Yeah.
I thought about it and I was like, no, I'm reading too many books at this time. I don't want to pick it up.
Well, and like I said, you know, the aspect of what is different that makes something like changed up, it's fast paced, but in a slow way, if that makes sense. Like they'll travel, and while you're going, they actually do missions in between where the destinations are. So it's kind of like doing all the side quests and everything else that you would do on a journey to get to, you know, somewhere else on a main quest.
It sounds slow.
Yeah. And so it feels that way, but like when you cover the book, it seems like it's going really fast. But it has one of those aspects, like I said, that's what I feel like changes it up from these other ones.
Yeah.
Shield Hero, honestly, there's nothing to really bring up on that.
I mean,
Shield Hero is just plain good. So
I mean, we jerk Shield Hero off pretty well.
That's true.
You know, so you know,
stop touching my shield.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
All right. So your number 3.
All right. So my number 3 is one that's actually really popular. It came out in 1996, and this one has the distinction of when it was being developed for manga and for anime. I mean, the anime is different than it. They developed the anime and then they developed the mangas afterwards. But this has the distinction of being there's a manga for boys and a manga for girls.
Okay.
And they're both completely different stories.
Oh, goodness.
But I'm talking about the anime, and this is The Vision of Escaflowne, one of my personal favorite isekais of all time. Have you seen this show?
I've not.
Never?
Never.
Ever?
Never, ever.
We gotta write this down on the list because we're gonna have to cover it in like 2 parts, I believe. Because this is like
Are we gonna have to cover the boys version and the girls version?
No, we're just gonna cover the anime, which is like 26 episodes. But we could probably watch it on Crunchyroll or something. I own it. But yeah, it's cool. It's about this girl who ends up going to a different world because she meets this guy named Vaughn who's like a dragon hunter, or he hunts dragons, and the dragon ends up going to her world and he needs the heart of the dragon in order to basically like become king of this like this land. And he I think it's a king. I can't remember exactly what he becomes. He's like a prince or something. And he's like this long lineage of like dragon people or whatever, you know. He has like dragon blood in his veins. And he uses the heart to power his giant magical robot called Escaflowne. And he fights these different other giant robots, and they're trying to figure out what's exactly going on. Why is Hitomi there, who is technically the main character, and Vaughn is like a pseudo main character. I mean, I would say Hitomi's more of a main character than Vaughn. This is where it gets kind of interesting because when it got brought over here originally, they cut the anime to make it look like Vaughn was actually the main character when it showed up over here
Yeah.
on like kids box or whatever it was, Fox box or whatever
Yeah.
the but yeah, it's really good. There's a lot of political intrigue, lots of cool giant robot fights, and it's more like they fight with like swords and stuff. They don't like fight with like guns or anything really.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's cool. I love it. It has a bunch of memorable characters in it and stuff. And the movie's a little different. The movie's like a condensed remake of the anime, but it's different. But Escaflowne is really good. It's definitely worth your time, and it might have what's his name in it? There's an actual character in it who's a real life person in it.
That's pretty cool.
He was like a what's it like? I don't know. It's not Pablo Picasso. Not Pablo Picasso. It was oh, it's gonna fucking kill me. I haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen Escaflowne in a while, but
Yeah.
there's somebody in it, and I can't remember who it was, and I was like, "What? Why is he in it?" And I can't remember what he was doing.
Like
And
Arnold?
no, no. But it comes out of nowhere towards the end. The ending can be hit or miss with Escaflowne, because they had to cut it off because it got lost its funding or whatever. But yeah, it's a really cool anime that I recommend. There you don't get a lot of anime with like female lead characters in it.
Yeah.
And this one is definitely one that doesn't have all those stupid tropes where they're overpowered characters or they get special powers. I think the only thing she gets, I think she might be able to kind of see the future or read the future
Yeah.
because she has like tarot cards and stuff. But like that's about it. She doesn't really have like powers. She's just a normal person. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe you've never seen a Vision of Escaflowne.
No.
Like
Not at all.
that is fucking like mind blowing because that was big in the 2000s.
Well, I think one of the things of why I never did see it is because there were so many people that were so hyped about it.
But it's that fucking good.
And I want to say it was either that or something else close to it that I saw, and I was just like, mm-mm.
Like you get that whole medieval fantasy element.
Because I know the other thing is like with Evangelion and Escaflowne, a lot of people tell me, "Oh, well, it's like Escaflowne or Evangelion," and I was like,
No, it is not.
I don't like Evangelion at all.
Even Evangelion does not even have robots in it. They're not robots. They're angels with like armor on them.
Yeah. See, and that's why I always enjoyed Rosafon more than that. So that was the problem.
Rosafon was just a hey, let me make Evangelion, but try to make it better, but they kind of failed.
I always enjoyed the opening when it came on. You know the funny thing though, out of the list that we thought about, Rosafon is actually an Isekai.
I thought you were gonna say Evangelion was on the list.
Oh no, their monsters are in their world, right?
Yeah.
Evangelion, I know they come through like a portal or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Rosafon.
God, I hate Evangelion.
Yeah.
I hate that.
All right. So my number 3 is one. It actually used to be my number 1. I don't actually know if it stopped really getting printed or anything though. So there's a little problem with that, and it takes so fucking long to come out. It was my original number 1. I used to like throw myself on the sword for it, but
yeah,
when only one volume comes out a year all the time for you to read it and enjoy it, it kind of pisses me off.
Why is that?
Because it's only once a year. Like,
really, once a year?
Yeah, sometimes it's a year and a half.
Interesting.
So,
Have I read
Um,
it?
no, I don't think
I
so.
have not.
I don't think so. No.
Oh,
Let's see though. I was trying to find because the other thing is it really doesn't have a Wikipedia either. Because I was
so
trying
that's
to
kind of
find
obscure that if it doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
right.
Yeah,
So I was trying to find something close enough to it, and I had to use its kind of like done up wiki, that other people can edit a lot out of.
like the fan page, like a fan page of some kind.
Yeah, like the fan wiki,
Yeah.
and it's actually more based off of the video game.
What is that?
So there's not a lot of information put into it except for like, hey, there was a manga that came out for this because it's
Oh
still
yeah.
shitty. Yeah. So this one, I enjoy like every aspect of it. Is Remonster,
Oh.
and
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get into that one.
Let's
I
see.
couldn't get into that one whatsoever.
The original release of the first one was November 8th, 2016.
Doesn't that one get like pushed back?
Yeah, that was the one. One of the ones that actually happened to me was it got pushed back like a year and a half. They're like,
Like,
oh, hey, it'll come out in 6 months. Oh, no, it got pushed back. It'll come out in a year. Hey, it'll come out next. Da da da. I'm like, this is almost like the same time I ordered it the last year.
it's probably in the process of getting canceled or something.
I don't know, and that's the problem with it is I don't know if it is getting canceled or not.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would just make it worse. So,
It could be
um,
like the Booty Royale mangaka, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I can't draw this because I'm not in a good place to draw my perverted stuff where I live. I'm gonna put this on hiatus."
right. So I don't know, but it's whatever. I mean, this is a really good one. The aspect of it I enjoy. He still has kind of the same ability as reincarnated as a slime.
Uh, there was
Uh,
one thing that I remembered of it vividly,
yeah,
and he comes upon like these women who got impregnated by goblins or something,
yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, like these people are fucked up."
Oh, out of his own people. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. And I mean, it has elements of Goblin Slayer, like with that.
yeah.
So,
That's one thing. Like I remember, like I just remember that part.
well, and then he goes back and he eats one of them. Like
Yeah,
because he's trying to like. That's the other thing I like about his name's changed so many times. I think it's Gabra right now because every time he transforms, they give him the gob part of it, but it changes like the ending part, because it was like Gabro, which is like something related to goblins, and then it was uh, Gobrin, and I mean it just changes as he gets bigger. But he has an ability that comes over from the previous world that he was in,
mm,
which is his absorption. And in that part with those ladies, he knew that they were basically like almost like soulless husks because
yeah.
they had been used and all this other stuff. And he just kind of like ethically killed them, I guess. And then to kind of have a secondary means, he ended up eating them to gain their abilities and stuff that they had. Which, he's gotten everybody under control. He's put in like a consensual thing because they have elves now too in their party. So it is pretty fun
Oh
when you
yes, let's not rape the people.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's like, you have to ask first, okay? um the only people like he are like his women. That's the only ones he's like, you can't touch these ever. But anybody
Yeah.
else, if it's consensual, um But he does that. So I mean, it goes hardcore, like reincarnated as a slime, building his own society. He incorporates different creatures into his gang, kind of, sort of. He's trying to be a diplomat right now. And then you have this other lying aspect where he'll go out on a hunting party and fight some big creature or find a magic item or whatever. And it just adds to his basis because he's a monster.
Yeah.
He absorbs abilities versus having to be like a job or something like that and gaining abilities because, hey, I finally learned this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, which he gets those too. But yeah, I mean, this is one of the ones that I've really enjoyed since forever. But as slow as it comes out and stuff, I mean, eventually I knew it was going to drop in my list.
Yeah.
But
Is that because it's come out, it's taken so long to come out?
that it's dropped on my
Yeah,
list.
it's dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, there's that, and like you said, there might be a thing with it getting canceled at some point. I mean, you never really know with this series
Yeah.
what's going to actually happen. Like, they'll say, hey, like on Right Stuff, they'll say, hey, we have that series, it'll come out this time,
Eventually.
and then you'll go on to it, and it'll get pushed back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it happens a lot, even though I think it's got a lot of credibility and has a lot of volumes actually out in Japan. I don't know why it's so slow for it to come out over here.
Maybe
So
it's the publishing thing, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Who
But
knows?
one of my higher up volumes that we'll get to actually has things kind of like this one that I enjoy.
Yeah. That's cool. I don't think I would have it on my list. It's not on my list whatsoever.
Well, I don't know if they have an anime for it or not.
I don't know if they do or not either.
So number 2 for you.
Number 2 is let me get to it because I gotta pull it up. All right. So my number 2 is El Hazard: The Magnificent World. Have you ever watched this one? It's 7-episode OVA. Super short.
I want to say I have seen this one.
This one's pretty good. It's one of my personal favorites because it does deal with like the people getting like special powers and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're interesting. So the story like focuses on a high school student named Makoto and his little friends. And Makoto gets mysteriously transported to this other world with his like rival. And Makoto is kind of like he's a real smart guy. He like science and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he gets transported to this world, and each person kind of gets dispersed throughout the kingdom, and each one of them gets like special powers. So like the bad guy he can like talk to these bug people. They're called like the Bugrum, I believe they were called.
Mm.
And he like kind of has to try to take over this world. And Makoto actually, he kind of figures out like the technology in this world and learns how to kind of use it. So he uses his smarts pretty much to like figure his way through this world. But Makoto has to cross dress and pretend to be the princess of this world in order to uh like have peace and stuff.
Okay.
That was Jin's mom interrupting. But he goes to like he goes cross dressing through this world and having to pretend to be this girl. We has to go find these like shrine maidens, one for each element, to go like save this world that they're in. It's a really interesting anime.
So what you're saying is this is Tales of Wedding Ring before Tales of Wedding Ring?
Kind of, but he doesn't get with any of them.
Oh, okay.
One of the other characters does get with one of them, which is his high school teacher, he's like a drunk, an alcoholic. He runs I think it's like the cross country or mountain climbing club, but nobody's like a part of it. But his superpower is pretty cool. So his superpower is super strength, but he only gets it when he's sober.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So he has to battle There's a motorcycle going by in the background. So it's a really interesting show. Now I only recommend the first series. If you want to go further, you can check out the other OVAs as well that are released over here. They're okay, but they're not as good as this first series that I particularly do enjoy. And there was a 3-volume manga that came out, and it's sort of different, but the anime came out before the manga came out.
Yeah.
So, and the manga is not hard to find, and I got it for maybe $10 for all 3 volumes. Like, it's super cheap, and you can get the anime anywhere now because Nozomi Entertainment puts it out. So,
Yeah.
But that's my number 3. That's one that I really like because it definitely has those powers, but it's not like the characters aren't super overpowered. They're still technically normal characters.
Oh, okay. They just have a little extra.
They just have a little extra. The only one who's technically super powered is the teacher who has super strength.
It's because you get it with age.
But yeah, that's one that I would say, and I think people should definitely check it out. It's worth a watch. The animation still holds up to this day. It is beautiful.
See, I do think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'll have to look it up so I can double check.
Yeah, it's really, really good. You can find it. You can get a whole DVD set or the Blu-ray set for really cheap. It's $20 for a Blu-ray set.
Yeah,
and you get the first OVA series and the second OVA in the first set, and then there's another OVA series, or it was more like a TV show, and then they redid the OVA series into a 26 episode TV show. Not as good as the OVA because it's longer and stretched out.
Yeah,
but I do recommend El Hazard: The Magnificent World. It's really good. It's fun. It's stupid. It's not stupid, but it has definitely isekai tropes for the 90s in it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. It's one that I personally go back to, and it's one that I have multiple copies of because I keep rebuying it.
Hey buddy, you want to send one of those copies to
Who knows?
Get it
Are you paying for shipping?
No.
Then I don't know if I want to send it to you.
How am I going to pay for shipping if it's supposed to be a surprise? I need you to pay shipping for this.
You can pay shipping.
Well, I have something that I need you to pay shipping for, and it's a dick in a box.
You can pay shipping for these nuts in your mouth.
Definitely not. I feel like that would get really redundant if we were like, "Hey, I need you to pay for shipping," and you just send the randomest things. Be like,
there was somebody I saw. I can't remember who, but they were doing a giveaway.
Yeah,
and they're like, "You can win this, but then you got to pay for shipping." And I was like, "Why would I pay for shipping if I won something?"
Right, dick.
But anyways, what is your number 2?
Okay, so my number 2 has one manga spinoff. It came out December 22nd, 2015. Still ongoing, has 11 volumes.
Only 11 volumes?
In and of itself, it's a spinoff from a light novel, which was a spinoff from a novel.
Yeah.
So it's actually had a novel and a light novel both actually started off.
Is it Mushoku Tensei?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well.
And in this one, the person gets reincarnated as a spider.
Why am I not surprised this one's on your list?
Well, I mean, you always knew because whenever I compared everything to Remonster, I was always like, it's kind of like I'm a spider, so what? And reincarnated as a slime just smashed together.
Yeah, I'm a spider, so what? And it's the best isekai of all time?
Yeah.
Because he's a spider, so what?
It's my number 2.
Yeah.
No, I really like this one though. It's got the same aspect as Remonster. That's the reason why Remonster was ahead of this one more so, is because I enjoyed the aspect of the elements of this one being in Remonster and the elements of slime being in Remonster. So this one, like I said, still holds up more so because it actually is coming out. It actually does have novels that are still coming out for it, things like that. So I mean, it is still very enjoyable, and it actually sticks more to a inner monologue setup story versus versus having a bunch of other characters.
Yeah, that's not one that I ever like looked at really, but I
Yeah.
thought the spider was kind of cute.
Yeah. Well, and I like every time like she'll sit there and she'll almost get her ass kicked, and she's like, "Oh God, how am I going to do this? I have to make sure that I transform, or whatever." And
Yeah.
you're just like, "Yeah," and her trying to figure out her path and what she
Hmm.
wants to do, and abilities that she gains and how she uses them and things like that. So it's really fun. I highly enjoy it. Um, Especially because it reminds me off of some of the oh god, what is it called?
Oh.
Mugen, not Mugen. Uh, People that make Devil Summoner and stuff. The game that it reminds me of is Demon's Code or Devil's
Oh,
Code.
is it
Something like that.
Demon Souls?
No, 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 no. It's the people that make the whole game. Like Jack Frost is one of their main characters that they
Oh,
advertise a lot.
Atlas, like Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, their games. So they have some games where you can kind of do the same thing as this, but she uses it to like combine her abilities and stuff. So
Mm.
um, it is really good.
Yeah,
And I think it's actually held stronger than most of the other series I've read just because of that aspect.
that's good.
So
That's good. Yeah, I don't know much about that one, but I know that's one that you really, really love. And I gotta be honest, I'm surprised it's not number one.
this one,
Yeah.
oh well, dun dun. I guess you'll just have to figure that out.
Okay. 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 Well,
All right,
I will. Let's
honor
get to
honorable mentions.
honorable mentions. I only have one honorable mention.
Inuyasha.
That's what I was gonna say. Inuyasha. Uh,
Be like, you dick.
I mean, because we've
Inuyasha.
kind of already covered Shield Hero on the podcast. We covered Tales of Wedding Rings on the podcast. We've covered Mishoku Tensei on the podcast.
Yeah,
Like those are three of my favorite isekai manga. Those are the only isekai I really continue to read.
yeah,
And then like I'm reading Inuyasha, and Inuyasha is really good. And I feel like a lot of people, honestly, like you said earlier, before we
yeah,
started recording, Inuyasha is technically an isekai.
yeah,
Well, it is an isekai, basically.
yeah. So I have two honorable mentions that I know of.
Okay.
There could have possibly been more, but eh. Um, so the first one is Tales of Wedding Rings.
Uh,
Um, I mean, that's just I've really enjoyed that one. I still enjoy it.
I
I
mean,
think
it's still good.
that's one that you and I have bonded a lot over. So
Did you
I
get
mean,
to Volume 10 yet?
I don't know. I have to look.
Volume 10 came out a couple months ago. Oh, fucking good.
Damn.
Fucking good.
I have to look. I have to look if I got it in
Fucking
it.
fucking Heme gets like corrupted by like this dark power. She goes bad.
Maybe I have read that. I don't
She
know. I'll
goes
have to
like
look.
she goes like bad and evil.
Bad to the bone.
Yeah, it's fucking hot.
Bad.
Fucking hot.
She's sitting there. I want to paint it black. So, and then my other honorable mention um, would be one that kind of fell out of your good graces. I still really enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is Ideal Sponger.
Oh yeah, that one it did fall for me, but like I just wasn't in like the right headspace to read it and stuff. But
Yeah.
that one is an interesting take on isekai. Do you want to explain it?
So Ideal Sponger basically is this girl comes in and takes a guy from our world who supposedly has genetics from their world
Yeah,
from many, many, many generations
they're
back.
like distantly like related in some way, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, like 60 generations back or
Yeah,
something.
like
And
the gene pool has been diluted like a lot.
all right. And she ends up uh, proposing to him and saying, "Hey, would you like to be the king of my nation, basically, and help me with my heirs?"
But like
And
their kingdom was like a monarchy, right?
yeah, and he's like, "Sure, I'll do that, but first, I want to make sure that I can bring some stuff with me." So he actually brings a lot of shit that we have. Glasses or cups, TVs, air conditioners.
DVDs,
Yeah, I mean
generators.
all this different stuff, and at the same time he's trying to learn how to do all this stuff with the kingdom and how to be basically a diplomat, um, and what rub elbows with people and all this different stuff. And I mean, it's actually a really good one. The time goes by so fast in it though.
Well, the part that I actually liked about it, which was none of that, it was more like we actually got to see like a main character, like take that next step. And yeah, like the characters get together, but like they actually, they had a child, they're raising the
Yeah,
child,
get
stuff like
married
that.
and
Yeah, they
everything
get
else.
married, stuff like that. That part was more interesting to me in that aspect because a lot of anime or manga will like kind of cut to that, but they'll just get like a short glimpse of it. In this, like the kid's like there, you know,
Yeah,
and that, the kid's a big part of the story if I remember correctly.
yeah, because I think she gets pregnant like I think like book two.
Yeah,
So
end of book one, I want to say, maybe end of book one, end of book two, maybe if I remember
yeah,
correctly. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It just fell out off for me.
yeah, yeah. I That's one of my ones that I still enjoy though too. Whenever I get a chance to read it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So what's your number one?
So my number one, my number one is an anime. Obviously, it came out in 1999,
Oh god.
ended in 2000. Uh, my favorite isekai is called Now and Then, Here and There. Have
Yeah,
you ever heard of this or seen it?
I've heard it from you.
Okay, yeah.
So other than that, though,
This is about this. It's about a boy named Shu. He loves kendo. He wants to be like a big kendo, uh, like, uh, like he wants to do kendo and be the best at kendo. And he meets this young girl. Lala Rue was her name, and Lala Rue is a waterbender.
okay,
And so he meets her, and they automatically, bam, get captured by these like guys with like these robots. And Lala Rue is special because she's a waterbender, and she has basically what is the equivalent to an ocean on like a necklace, like a jewel on a necklace. And she can control it and stuff like that and give people water and stuff. And they end up getting transported to Earth, but it's either like an alternate Earth or like Earth like so far in the future, like Earth is basically barren. And they have to deal with like this guy who's like he's like a megalomaniacal like maniac, He uses child soldiers to fight his wars for him. Shu gets put into this child soldier thing, and it's a very like dark, like brutal isekai. Like it's probably one of the darkest animes I ever watched.
Yeah.
Its inspiration was the genocide of Rwanda. That's what inspired this anime. It's fucking insane. Like it's definitely one that I want to try to find another copy to give to you so
Yeah.
we can watch it and cover it on the show. Like it starts off like such happy go lucky, your typical like sports anime-esque, where he's
Yeah.
doing kendo and stuff, and it turns into bam. And you just have to watch this character get broken down and beaten and trying to rise up and defeat like these bad people to change this world. It just it makes
That's
you
crazy.
it makes you break on the inside because these characters that you fall in love with are going through this like shitty experience.
That sounds pretty crazy.
It's fucking good. It's fucking good.
So you're gonna find one so I can cover it?
Find it, or you can buy it on YouTube to watch it. I found that out recently. Uh, but yeah, I don't know who owns the rights to this anime anymore. I don't know, but I do know because I tried to look it up on YouTube to see if anybody put it up on YouTube, and somebody did, but it's all subtitled.
Yeah.
And I know you're not a big subtitle person,
Definitely not.
but that's the only way I found out to watch this. I have a bootleg copy of it.
Say it ain't so, Otaku.
I have a bootleg copy of this
Say
show,
it ain't so.
but it's from that bootlegger that used to sponsor
Oh,
our Dead podcast.
you monster.
I just kept it because I could never find a physical copy of it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So my number one.
Is it as good as my number one?
It's better than your number one.
How so?
How so is my number one better than yours?
Yeah.
Because it's my own personal number one.
Okay, if you say so.
Duh.
If you say so.
Duh. All right. So this one.
Wait,
also,
can I guess? Can I guess?
Sure.
Is it Suikoden 3?
No.
Ha! Joke's
It's not
on
a-
you.
it's not an
Suikoden's
anime.
not an isekai.
Exactly. So this one too is based off of a light novel,
Uh-huh.
or has a light novel. My bad. I think they came out at the same time. This one came out May 2nd of 2014. Currently has 17 volumes for it. Is written by Refugien na Maganote
Uh-huh.
something. It's published by Media Factory and put out by Seven Seas.
Is it Mushoku Tensei?
It is the Shoku Tensei.
Oh. Why is Mushoku Tensei your favorite isekai of all time?
Well, one, it's another one that we kind of bonded over because I started watching the show and then read the manga, and you were like, "Hey, buddy, I really enjoy this one. I've been trying to get you to read this for like ever."
I think it was one of the first manga series like I really truly like started heavily collecting.
Yeah. But I mean, I just like the aspect. It's you don't really have to worry too much about, hey, I'm some kind of random ass creature that got reincarnated in this other world,
Uh-huh.
because he's just a human. He's a baby. And he has his thoughts, though, that he previously had.
So, question, are you caught up? Are you caught up with collecting the series?
I don't think so. I think
Because
I'm a little bit behind.
the newest volume comes out this month, I think.
I think I'm a little bit behind still.
And So, slight spoilers, there's another character who was reincarnated into this world from his world. And she's an interesting character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets interesting.
Which I thought we kind of had something touch on that earlier.
It happened like kind of recently in the manga, a light novel. But anyways, tell me why Mushoku Tensei is really good.
I don't have to tell you.
Or tell the
You already know.
tell the listeners why it's really good.
I feel like it's one that really stays true to people's internal instincts and stuff too.
People say it's one of the granddaddies of the modern isekai,
Right.
which I can kind of see a little bit.
But I feel like though that it's a little more honest with
Definitely.
its human tendencies.
Oh yeah, there was a whole thing about Rudy not being able to get his dick up, and it was pretty funny.
No, I bet he wear.
No, he had like erectile dysfunction in the manga.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
I might have to go see where I'm at because I don't remember that yet. But
it's later on. It's when he gets like it's when he starts like courting the girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know with him being like young, it's kind of like, well, do you really like know how your body's going to react? You know?
Because I think I'm close to maybe to where he gets married to one of them for the first time.
Yeah. But I mean, there's just so much different stuff in this one. It's a really good fantasy based one that you can just get into and read and enjoy Rudy. You know,
But
figure out
one thing it has though is strong female characters.
that's true too.
Yeah.
That is true too, and it's funny on the aspect of um on the aspect of that of just how like powerful these characters are, and then he's attracted to them.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
He's like, oh my gosh, you know. But the funny thing is ever since he was a baby too, he's got like that more pervy side.
Oh yeah, he's got to protect his treasures.
You know, and that's another thing that I find is a really good aspect too. Um, you know, because everything that we do have, like anybody that is a pervert out at all, you know, people don't want them to know that. I mean, that's kind of thing. And it's funny because in this manga, it gets carried over into the new world with him.
Well,
That
he's
is
kind of like a
medieval
known
world.
pervert in this world, in the new world.
Right, but the thing is, not everybody thinks about it the same way. And then the funny part of it is they're like, oh, well, he's like his dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Except his dad never had the whole thing about collecting underwear.
No, but his dad collected babies.
That is true. He's got two, and he's got he has one wife, and he has a maid, and he has
his mistress.
He has a sparring buddy.
Yes.
I'm sure there's other ones, but I thought it was freaking hilarious.
No, you're not wrong. But yeah, totally. But yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with your list, and you can't disagree with my list, you know. Let us know exactly what you think of our lists. Do we have good lists? Do we have good choices? Let us know, comment down below. What is your favorite isekai?
Right. But, as always, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.